friends, it's me, Nina, and I'm coming back to you with another tarot pool. This pool today is going to be about love and the energies around love. So if you're not in love, this might bore you, and if you are in love, I hope this can help you. And so I, of course, have 3 card stacks that you can all pull from. And before you pull, I kind of want to give you a little background. We have Venus going into retrograde here in a few weeks. And what we have to remember when Venus is in retrograde is that it's going to be explaining and helping us understand ways that we love ourselves as well as ways that we're able to love others. And so since it will be shifting through Capricorn, we're also going to be looking at legacy, what the longevity of it all is. If they're not, divorces and breakups, it's a lot of connectivities and marriages and longevity. And so sometimes in the retrograded energy kind of just puts us back where we wanted to be, where we weren't able to actually stay. And then sometimes the energy all together puts us somewhere new. And so I hope this reading helps anybody who wants it. And like, subscribe, and comment if it meant something to you. So the first crystal is going to be a Labradorite. The second crystal is going to be an Amethyst. And the third crystal is going to be Smoky Quartz. So everybody take a big deep breath. And let's do this reading. So pick which pile you want. Again, it's Labradorite, Amethyst, or Smoky Quartz. And so for the Labradorite, I love this one. I got it in the Grand Canyon. It's one of my favorites. For the Labradorite, our message of love is talking, as in this is going to be anybody who pulled this card. Has a lot to do with conversations, having messages, waiting in messages. I am giving the advice of make sure that you think before you speak with this retrograde. Unlike Mercury's retrograde, your mind is free, but very often if we don't allow ourselves to process what we're feeling, what we're thinking, how that Venus energy is going to be affecting our aura altogether, it's really important to sit down and think, almost rehearse what you want to say, especially when these are long and heavy conversations. Again, whether it's a marriage or a divorce, it's a lot of heavy energy geared in that direction of, my legacy needs to shift and change, and I want it to be in your favor. But if it's not in your favor, I have to respect that. And so the cards to kind of back up and give us additional information, we have the Guardian card and the Earthbound card. And so when it comes down to talking, that Guardian card is definitely in reference to who is out here protecting you, who's defending you. Very often it comes in as ancestor cards and ancestor messages. So check and see if any of your ancestors have been giving you messages about the person, the situation, the relationship, and if any of those messages are giving you the retrograde answers that you need. And then as far as Earthbound goes, this is definitely a card when we talk about being in our head, in our space, or in reference to not feeling like we belong where we are. And so this card, coming in with that Earth Venus retrograde, it's definitely talking about getting grounded. I encourage everybody to remind themselves that sometimes when we overthink situations, that they're not inherently the facts or the truth about the actual situation. There is one person's truth, there's your own truth, and then there's the situation at hand. And so when it comes to that Earthbound, I want everybody to just remember that, sometimes we fly off into space. And so with this talking conversation for everybody who picked the Labradorite, come to Earth for the conversation. Don't sit in your head about it. And it's funny because I just said journal it, but it's definitely saying journal to come down. Okay. And now this is for everybody who picked the Amethyst. And so our Amethyst love card is love itself. And so this is just an unconditional love. This is self-love. This is openness. This is kind of saying that everyone who picked the Amethyst card is actually just open to the abundance of love. It's coming in from all angles, all around. With their energy going into retrograde, I hope that you're able to rekindle and heal some of your past loves, because very often platonic love is overlooked, but the mishaps and the hardships of breaking up with like a friend, this is a kind of one of those windows where you can rekindle that friendship and or rekindle that safety feeling that you had, even with yourself sometimes. And then our cards to complement, we have the threefold riddle and survival. And so with the threefold riddle, we have three people in burqas, which is kind of going to be this message of there's more that is hidden than that is seen, and that which is seen isn't always a blessing or the actual truth. So I feel like a lot of this retrograde energy is going to be helping you to uncover the difference between the truths and the lies within your circle, within your life, and kind of just make sure that anything that is not in the name of abundance and love is pushed out of your life. And then for the survival card, it's also reminding you that if it's been a really hard time, and if you've had the ups and downs of hardship, you don't really know what love means or what love is, then you're definitely looking at this card. It's letting me know that you're gonna grow despite all odds, despite the stress, despite everything kind of rooting against you. You will sprout and you will grow. And so that's definitely something to remember whenever we see the survival card, because it's important to remember that after all is said and done, survival is still an option and still a possibility. So I hope that one resonates really well with everybody who had picked the amethyst. And now for the Smoky Quartz. And so anybody who had picked the Smoky Quartz, best message for last, right? And our relationship card is the Hammer. And so what the Hammer is coming in from, it's a card that is kind of saying, there's a lot of action going on around you, a lot of change, some sabotage, some rebuilding, but it's also implying that with a little bit of persistence, anything that you're working on in that love life, it's going to work out, which honestly, the Hammer is the true feeling of Venus in Capricorn. It's like everything I do with intention and force, and it might seem like a bad time right now, but I'm building you a house that we can grow old in. And persistence, longevity, and patience, these are all telltale signs from Capricorn. And so it's really, really, really important to give us the space that we need to kind of heal and make it so much better. I'm sorry, I got finished. I got some hot tea texted me. And so with our Hammer coming, it just makes sense to kind of see what you can rebuild and shift and make better. And so, in the name of rebuilding, there is the Phoenix card. And so definitely a good chunk of y'all are going to quite literally be rebuilding yourself, your self-image, your self-appreciation, your relationship, your family, your goals, everything that you've always dreamed of and wanted. We have to realize that Capricorn is the top of the tree. It's where all of the fruit are produced. Anything that you created, anything that you made, that is your success and your power. And so the Phoenix card coming out here is definitely saying that it's time to just break up, rebuild, regroup, die and come alive again, because with every rebirth, there is a new power that is kind of sprung as well. And then our second card is amusement. And so then that's also kind of saying, let the next person, next relationship, next space, whatever this, ramp that you're building, whatever you're building, make sure that you take a step back and enjoy yourself. If you've had, 4 or 5 really bad long-term relationships, date for just a little while, just date people for 2 or 3 weeks at a time. And if you don't want to get back from that, then, date different types of people that you've never really accepted a date from, or date people that are just going to show you something new. Either way, it's amusement, and the idea and the objective here is to be amusing. So I never try to keep these too long. I hope that this helped everybody to some degree or another. And of course, you're always welcome to buy a private 45-minute reading with me. And I have a wide arrangement of cards options, and I don't mind at all blending cards the way I did today. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next week.